chart method. I had explained the chemical reaction. We talked about all of that. So let's get started. When you're using the chart method, you're going to make a chart that lists all of the elements that are in the chemical reaction. We are then going to count how many are on the reactant side and how many are on the product side. So we have 1 sodium on the reactant side, 1 on the product side. We have 1 chlorine on the reactant side. We have 2 on the product side. 2 bromines on the reactant side, 1 on the product side. So our job is to make these numbers equal. You can see that the sodium is already equal, but the chlorine and the bromine are not. We are going to add coefficients in any one of the spots to make these equal. When you are balancing, you want to make sure that you do it in this order. You're going to balance your metals first, followed by your non-metals. You're going to do hydrogen second to the last. It won't always be third. And last, you're going to do oxygen. Now, it is not critical that you follow this order, but it will save you a lot of work. So if you try and balance oxygen first, you might end up changing the oxygen multiple times. So if you do it last, a lot of times it just falls right into place. So we are going to do our metals first. Sodium, I have 1 and 1. It's balanced. I'm not going to do anything. I'm then going to go to the non-metals. And it doesn't matter if you do chlorine or bromine first. So we'll just go in order and we'll look at chlorine. Chlorine, there is 1 on the reactant side and 2 on the product side. So the reactant side is deficient. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of the sodium chloride. You cannot squeeze it in between to balance the chlorine. You have to put it in front, and yes, it throws the other element off. So I now have 2 chlorines. 2 times 1 makes 2 chlorines on the reactant side, but it also changed the sodium. I now have 2 sodiums on the reactant side also. Remember, when you put a coefficient out in front, it affects the entire compound. I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to balance my bromines. I have 2 on the reactant side and 1 on the product. 1 is the deficient or the lower number, so the product side needs more. I'm going to put a 2 in front of the whole compound, and that makes 2 BRs, and it also changes the sodium. Now I'm going to check. I see that I have 2 and 2 for sodium, 2 and 2 for chlorine, 2 and 2 for bromine, so it is balanced. I can put 1s here. I don't have to, but this is the balanced equation.